Good afternoon, Patriots. Constitution Vet here. Welcome to my Sunday sit-downs. I hope you've had a fantastic week. I hope your Sunday is going well. And I hope you've gotten a notification on my most recent video. If you haven't, please go to my channel and check it out. If I have to go old school, I will. And when I say old school, I mean I will actually put the link into previous messages that y'all have sent me throughout the past. I did that recently, so if y'all have seen a random reply to an old message you sent me on some of my older videos, that's why. Because the Soviet overlords have been throttling my channel, like, dramatically. It started out as just a little, but I've noticed a trend. My videos have slowly but surely not reached all of my subscribers like they used to. At first I thought it was just a fluke. But now I've noticed they have actively turned off notifications from my channel. And what's so funny about that is I'm not a big name on this platform. I don't have thousands of followers. I don't make money off of this. I'm not monetized. I don't care about getting that. But what I do care about is this platform turning off y'all's notifications. Because recently, and I said this in my recent video too, I got a message from someone saying, "Hey, Constitution Vet, I haven't gotten anything from y'all. Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I've been making videos every week." And they were shocked. They're like, "I had no idea." I'm like, "Yeah. Check out my channel. I post twice a week, every week." And so, yeah, guys, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. More importantly, please make sure your notifications are turned on. Again, if I have to go old school and send a message to each person who subscribed to me, I will do that. Because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, I don't have the convenient community tab on my channel. I want to do some more digging and see if there's other ways I can get messages out to you guys. Sorry, I had a burp there for a second. But yeah. I'm going to find unique ways to ensure every single one of you knows what's going on. Because, again, it ain't right that this platform is turning off notifications. It's not right that they choose what y'all see and what y'all don't see. So, with that being said, again, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and make sure to click on those notifications. Okay, that's really important. Yeah, guys, the most recent video I made, took a very practical approach. It's still under the practical teaching skills playlist. And so that video focused on the beauty of mind maps. It's a little website that I've used for my classes that allows you and your future students, whoever they may be, to put their thoughts onto a well, clear, concise, and organized platform, website. It works really well. It's completely free. If you do wish to subscribe to that, it's $3 a month, and it allows you unlimited mind maps, unlimited storage, and you can store it on that website. So anywhere you log into your account, you can get access to all the mind maps you've created. My students use that for my classes. I've used that for my own reasons. But yeah, guys, check out the video. It's really helpful, really practical. And I want to continue on this practical teaching skills path. It seemed to work really well because I'm going to start teaching again pretty soon full time. And so I'm going to just keep adding to that playlist. I might change it here and there, do different focuses, but for the most part, I want to keep providing practical skills for those of y'all who want to be a teacher or educate someone in some form or fashion. Or if you have kids and you're sick and tired of this CRT crap being pushed down the public school system, or if you just don't want your kid to be forced through this, learn by taking a test mentality. If you want to homeschool your kids, this channel can be a good source for that. So, anyways. Alright, guys. So, moving on from that. I watched a video this week. And I've spent some time thinking about it, and it was really interesting when I saw it. Maybe y'all have seen it. A certain celebrity, the guy who's like, "I'll be back," or gosh, my brain's farting right now. But Arlen Schwarzenegger, pretty popular celebrity. He's been in a lot of really good movies. Um, Terminator 2 is still one of my favorite movies of all time. But he said something recently that was, well, really confounding at first. Then after I spent some time thinking about it, it really revealed his true character. It revealed who he really is. He was doing an interview, and he said a statement that was as follows. He said, "Screw your freedom." Now, the overall context is that they were talking about masks, mandates, the debate between safety or freedom. Should people have complete freedom, or should safety and security be first and foremost? And his response was very clear to the entire American people. Screw your freedom. Safety is more important. He's not the only guy saying that narrative. This has been a narrative that's being spread throughout this platform, other platforms, news media. And I watched another video that was fantastic. This other video is linked down below. It's from the channel called Academy of Ideas. It's a phenomenal video. And whoever made this did a great job at bringing all this crap into a single, clear, and concise argument. This video argues that every historical society that has crumbled all has one thing in common. At some point, the people of that society chose safety over freedom. Now, that's very interesting because at first you think, oh, well, that's weird. Like, if you choose safety, shouldn't you be a society that lasts? Shouldn't you be a society that stands this test of time? If you choose safety and security, wouldn't your people, your society, last for a while? Historically speaking, though, no. Every single time a group of people choose to trust their overlords, their rulers, their state, their government, to be their caregivers, to be their safety providers, every single time that has happened, that society eventually collapsed. Anyways, check out that video. It's down below. Really good. And so this is my question for y'all. And I'm very curious in this, because on one side, you could make a decent argument for safety and security. The other side could argue that we must trust the experts to keep us safe. We must trust people who have the knowledge to recommend things for us to do to be safe and secure. Because if you're not safe and secure, how can you live a good and healthy life? I've heard some decent arguments on that side. But then I've heard arguments on the other side that argue, hold on a second. Who are you to tell me how to live my life? Who are you to tell me how I should be safe and secure? I should have the freedom to make my own decisions for my own life. And that's where the debate becomes very interesting. If you look around the world, this can tie easily to the topics of socialism and capitalism, very easily. On one hand, you have societies, socialism, that give a lot of power to the ruling state, to the governing authority. And you have some countries that give very little power to the ruling state and governing authority. And then you have some like us, like America, that are somewhere in the middle. We are a mixed society. It really is. On one hand, we're okay giving the power and authority to certain groups. For example, we're totally fine paying taxes for firefighters, for police. We're totally fine paying taxes for, say, public libraries, public transportation. On the other hand, though, we may not be okay paying taxes for things such as free education for everyone, free healthcare for everyone. I guess it would really vary on the society. But bottom line, if you want to find a way to make some sense of all this confusion and all this crap going on right now, if you know people in your life that are really conflicted with everything going on, I guess you could really bring it down to one simple question. What's more important to you? Safety or freedom? Now, can you have safety with freedom? Yeah, you absolutely can. But from my understanding, after thinking about this for a while, my conclusion is if each person has the freedom to choose their own path of safety, then everyone's going to be safe anyways. Everyone's going to create their own tailored version of safety. If this person over here chooses to wear double masks, if they choose to stay at home, if they choose a job that is remote, if they choose never to leave the house, if they choose to have social gatherings under, 5 people, okay, cool. If they choose to suck from the teat of the ruling power, cool, go for it. That's their choice. But if this person over here chooses no to all of that, if this person over here chooses, hey, you know what, I'm going to go outside. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm going to go to a job. I'm going to work. I'm going to earn an income. I'm going to not suck from the teat of the ruling power. I'm going to make my own path. Okay, cool, go for it. That's what made this experiment, this country, work for so long. I watched a clip from a podcast recently. Really good podcast from this is probably the Joe Rogan Experience. Really good clip. He made a great point. Joe Rogan made a great point. He mentioned that this experiment was the first of its kind. Historically speaking, it pretty much was. This idea of a country called the United States of America being created as a republic with people who are in charge being voted on by the people for the people. That was a new idea. It really was. It was a whole new idea. It was never tried before. Voting was used before America, such as in ancient Greece. But not everyone could vote. If you were a woman or if you were not a citizen, if you were a slave, you couldn't vote. So places like Athens, Greece, really wasn't a true democracy. If you are on a pirate ship, pirate crew, they had real true democracy. Voting was a normal thing on those pirate crews. But those societies were so small that even though it worked beautifully on that pirate ship, it didn't last. It crumbled once you left the ship. So looking at our history, has our country had some problems? Absolutely. Is our country perfect? No, not at all. But when you look at the fact that our country is just under a few hundred years old, and you see the progress we have made, just under a few hundred years, it's amazing. It really is encouraging. And it's very easy to fall into the trap of, oh, our country is inherently evil, it's inherently racist, it's horrible, it's terrible. Does our country have flaws? Yeah, it does. But if you look at the big picture, if you look at the entire human story, our country's been done pretty well for itself. Our country has been pretty freaking awesome. And we've overcome a lot of issues. Countries that in Europe which have thousands of years of history, still struggle with. I mean, the fact that you have England, which is still a pretty cool country, still, one of our big allies, they have problems in their own society, but the fact that they still have a queen. Now, to be fair, the queen does not have as much power as she did, I'd say 20, 40 years ago. But the fact that they still put money towards a monarchy, the fact that there are still people employed in England whose sole job is to provide and take care of the royal family, to me as an American, that's so foreign to me. Because that would never happen in America. This is where it gets interesting. If you study history, if you look at what's going on right now in our country, it's like we may not have a king or queen, but on that same podcast, Joe Rogan made a great point. he mentioned this experiment is becoming fractured because we are now getting to a point where we are letting people in power enforce mandates on us. When you let someone in power tell you what to do, then it becomes one step closer to a monarchy. Because one step closer to a dictatorship. And I can speak from experience because I was government property for almost 9 years. Here's one thing about the military. A lot of people don't think about. The military is not a democracy. It is a dictatorship. It is. When you serve in the military, you are making a choice. You are choosing to live in a realm where you are given orders. You are told what to do and you do it. The military is a dictatorship. You are wrapped with a security blanket that is amazing. You are provided so many benefits. You are taken care of in so many areas. The catch is that you need to be willing to say, hey, I'm willing to take orders. I'm willing to put my name on a check, and that check is your life. You need to be willing to sacrifice your life for your country. If you're not willing to do that, then don't join. Now, granted, there are a lot of jobs in the military that are not really that dangerous. You're not really going to put your life on the line. But you are still going to have to follow orders. The military is not a democracy. It's a dictatorship. You live under different forms of dictators, and you have to follow what they tell you to do. Don't ask questions. You get the job done. But here's the thing. You choose that life. It's not forced on you. You choose that. America is a country that is built upon choice. Have we dealt with problems in the past? Yes. Do we still have problems? Absolutely. But I would much rather have a flawed republic than a perfect dictatorship. And this brings it all back to that quote that Arlen Schwarzenegger made. He said, "Screw your freedom." Well, listen, dude, here's the irony to that statement. Number one, you, Arnold, would not have the ability to say this if it wasn't for your right of freedom of speech. Listen, Arnold, you're saying that in the comfort of your multi-million-dollar mansion, which you've earned because of your freedoms given to you by this country. But, okay, let's just move away from that for a second. To that fundamental debate, safety over freedom. I would choose freedom any day. Because that person across the street, I may not agree with them. And that's okay. In fact, my neighbor, right there, she's awesome. But I know for a fact we're going to disagree on a lot of things, but that's okay. That's the beauty of this country. It's okay to disagree with people. You can still live your life the way you see fit. You want to live your life? Go for it. The moment you start telling me how to live my life, that's when we're going to have some problems. But I want to end this video with some hope and encouragement. Here's one thing I've noticed, that my wife has noticed this too. It's been really interesting to see. Old definitions that were pretty commonplace, even just a couple years ago, are changing dramatically. The term liberal and conservative have changed drastically within the past couple of years. People who would have called themselves left-leaning liberal, some of them now are like, this is tyranny, dude. I don't like what's going on. And they're becoming what we would call now conservative. And that's the good thing out of all of this. Even some old school Democrats are now being like, listen, we may not agree with certain Republican ideals, but we do agree on this thing called tyranny. And we don't want any of this. This is getting out of hand. So what's exciting to see today is that I think, and again, if you disagree, that's totally fine. I think people who were enemies a couple years ago could now be allies today, because today, all the things that made us different really don't matter anymore, because right now we are fighting for this thing called liberty. Something that all Americans should get behind. if you are an American citizen, you should want liberty and freedom to live the life that you see fit. There's that side, the side of freedom. Sadly, there are people nowadays who are leaning more towards the side of safety. In their mind, they think that's the right path. But soon they will hopefully realize that the path of safety leads to tyranny, and that will lead to utter collapse. They will learn that when they read history. They will learn that if they read the works of Solzhenitsyn. They will learn that if they look at what has happened throughout European history. So, anyways, that's pretty much all I got, guys. I know it's a little bit different than usual, but I hope you all have a great week, have a great rest of the Sunday. Again, these videos are simply meant to be just sit down with me, unedited, unfiltered, the raw video, all that. So, have a great day, guys. I will be making another video this week, and I start teacher training for the next semester, so I'm pretty excited about that. Again, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, make sure to turn on your notifications so that way you won't miss out on anything. And like I said before, I will put my updated videos into old messages. So if you see any replies from me to an old message, that's what it is me sharing my stuff. So, have a great day, guys. Never surrender, never submit. This Constitution vet, signing out.